When I heard him say it, my blood ran cold. I remember sitting at the kitchen table, my hands wrapped around a mug of hot cocoa, steam curling into the cold winter air that sneaked in through the cracked window. My husband, Mark, leaned back in his chair with that infuriating grin I had learned to hate, the kind that promised trouble disguised as a joke. "My ex is coming to Christmas dinner," he said casually, like announcing the weather. I froze mid-sip, the warm liquid threatening to scald my tongue. I could hear the tick of the clock, each second hammering against my chest. My ex? Not my ex, his ex. Her. Jessica. The one he swore was in the past, the one who had left scars on my marriage I thought were long healed. I opened my mouth, trying to say something, anything, but all that came out was a strangled whisper, "Excuse me?" Mark chuckled, oblivious. I thought it would be nice. She lives nearby now, and, well, we've talked. Just a friendly dinner. My heart sank. Friendly dinner? On Christmas? With the children? In our home? I could feel the blood rushing to my ears, my fingers tightening around the mug. I wanted to tell him no. I wanted to storm out. I wanted to hide. But instead, I smiled. A smile that didn't reach my eyes. A smile that would conceal the storm gathering inside me, because I knew that whatever happened next, I couldn't let this ruin the holiday for the kids. I had to think. I had to plan. And most of all, I had to survive Christmas with Jessica in the same house. Life with Mark had been complicated. He was charming, stubborn, and a man who could make you feel loved one moment and maddeningly ungrounded the next. I had been with him for over a decade, married for 7 of them, and together we had built a home filled with laughter, chaos, and 3 small children who believed we were invincible. Christmas had always been my favorite time of year. I loved the smell of pine from our tree, the glittering lights reflected on ornaments, the soft hum of carols in the background. I loved seeing the children's faces light up when they found presents under the tree, and the quiet satisfaction of preparing a feast that would bring us all together. Mark, of course, had his quirks. He believed in extravagant decorations and insisted on a massive ham every year, regardless of how many times I reminded him that the turkey was traditional. He was a man of routine, but he liked to sprinkle in surprises, a new ornament, an unexpected gift, or, apparently, an unexpected guest. Jessica. The name alone made my stomach twist. She had been a part of Mark's life before me, a shadow in my memories whenever I doubted myself. She was beautiful, yes, tall, flawless hair, and a smile that had once drawn my husband like a moth to a flame. But she was also manipulative, cunning, and the kind of person who made you question your own worth without even trying. I spent the days leading up to Christmas orchestrating every detail. Cookies baked, tree decorated, gifts wrapped and stacked neatly. I reminded myself that I could handle this, that I was strong, that I had weathered storms before. And yet, every time I imagined Jessica walking through our front door, a shiver ran down my spine. The first hint that this dinner would not be ordinary came when Mark started fussing with his phone more than usual. Secretive messages, whispered phone calls when I left the room, and an inexplicable nervous energy that I hadn't seen from him in years. Then there was Jessica herself. She arrived early, of course, in a flowing red dress that seemed to mock my carefully planned holiday outfit. She smiled, hugged Mark, and greeted the children warmly, but something in her eyes, something sharp, predatory, made me tighten my jaw. Over the course of dinner prep, I noticed the little things. How she lingered near Mark, offering quiet compliments. How she subtly corrected the way I had arranged the table. How she made jokes that seemed innocent but were designed to undermine my authority. Mikey, my oldest, tugged at my sleeve. "Mom, why is she here?" His voice was innocent, but I could see the confusion in his eyes. "She's part of Mark's past," I said lightly, hoping he would accept it. But even as I said it, I could feel the tension thickening in the room. The children could sense it. The air felt tight, like the storm outside that rattled the windows. Dinner began normally. Laughter, the clink of silverware, the soft hum of holiday music. I tried to keep my composure, keeping my eyes on the children, on the food, on anything but the simmering tension between Jessica and me. But then came the moment that changed everything. Mark excused himself to take a phone call, leaving Jessica alone in the dining room with me. She leaned in, her perfume heavy in the air. "You know, you could never truly make him happy," she said softly, almost conversationally. "But I can. I always could." I froze. The words were deliberate, cruel, designed to cut. My hands clenched the edge of the table. And then, as if on cue, one of the children knocked over a glass, and Jessica's practiced smile faltered for a fraction of a second. That was all the proof I needed. She wasn't here for friendship. She was here to test me, to provoke, to assert that she still had power. I decided then that I couldn't let her win. But I had to be careful. A confrontation in front of the children would be catastrophic. I needed strategy, subtlety, control. I excused myself politely and went to the kitchen, feigning calm. I sent Mark a quick message, "Call me when you're done," immediately. In the kitchen, I gathered my thoughts. I had been through manipulation before. I knew how to navigate this. I arranged a mistaken spill on the counter, which forced Jessica to follow me into the kitchen. "You know," I began softly, deliberately letting the words sink in, "you may have charm, but you don't have family. This is my home. These are my children. You are a guest here. Nothing more." Her expression shifted, just slightly. Shock. Recognition that she had underestimated me. The rest of the evening became a careful dance. I kept my interactions polite but firm, redirecting conversations, highlighting family traditions, making it clear to everyone, including Mark, that the heart of Christmas was not Jessica's approval or presence, it was ours. By the end of the evening, Mark realized what I had done. He came into the kitchen, looking sheepish, muttering apologies under his breath. The children had seen the subtle power shift, they were laughing again, playing, unaware of the tension that had almost derailed their holiday. Jessica, realizing she couldn't manipulate the situation further, made her exit. She left a gift, lavish, expensive, but meaningless. The damage she had hoped to inflict never materialized. The community didn't need to know. It was a private victory, but one that strengthened the family. I knew, deep in my bones, that Christmas would be remembered not for conflict, but for the resilience and unity we demonstrated. In the weeks after Christmas, Mark and I spoke more honestly than we had in years. He admitted he had underestimated the emotional impact of his choice, and I forgave him, though carefully. We rebuilt trust, piece by piece, with shared laughter and mutual understanding. The children thrived in the renewed warmth. Mikey often whispered, "Mom, you were like a superhero." And in a way, I suppose I was protecting my home, my family, and the essence of our holiday from manipulation and chaos. Christmas returned to its true meaning in our house. Love, togetherness, and respect. I learned that boundaries, quiet strength, and careful action can protect a family even in the face of someone trying to tear it apart. Now, sitting by the tree, listening to the soft hum of carols and watching my children play, I reflect on that night. Sometimes, the biggest threats come disguised as old memories, familiar faces, even gifts. But love, courage, and the quiet force of a mother's heart can protect what truly matters. Would you have handled it the way I did? Would you have confronted the past head-on, or allowed fear to rule the room? If this story touched you, remind yourself, family is strength, boundaries are power, and sometimes, the quiet actions you take make all the difference. Share this story, and let's celebrate those who protect the heart of their homes every day.